Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of building Diamond Fair in Planet Coaster, episode number 2. So I had to cut like a couple of minutes off the front of this time lapse because for some reason like the recording of it was all choppy and stuff, so we're a little bit into the build. You can see I'm building like a building at the front of the park, and like that's what this episode is based around. It's like building up this building, building it over the tunnel, and just sort of getting the entrance of the park like looking a little bit better, basically. And then we do some support work on the roller coaster. I changed the layout of the roller coaster. It's still not finished actually. I still haven't come to a conclusion on what I want the layout to be on that roller coaster. But yeah, so we build like an ice cream shop, and like just like a deli thing. I think it's like a fritters store I use, but it's supposed to be like a deli. I haven't put any signs or anything on anything yet, but there will be signs coming and stuff. You'll see that in later episodes and stuff. And as we go through the as we go through the end of the episode, I'll just obviously show you around and show you what's going to be changed and what's going to be added and stuff. But yeah, so that's really it for this episode. Like I said, it's building quite a lot of buildings, getting some work done on the roller coaster. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll be back at the end to talk about what I got built. Okay, so in this episode I thought it might be quite a good idea to talk about my trip to Alton Towers I took at the beginning of this month. I don't really go to Alton Towers that much. I've been, I think, 3 times in my life. So yeah, this is the 3rd time I ever went. We went for my birthday, which was a couple of days ago. Well, actually it was 12 days ago now. But yeah, so we went for my birthday, and then we stayed in the area afterwards for a couple of days in like a separate place. But yeah, obviously this trip report will be mainly like focused on Alton Towers and my day at Alton Towers. So we only spent 1 day there. We have Merlin annual passes, so we use those. We pay like monthly for them, like the membership thing. It's quite good. It's quite like, it works out quite well in terms of pricing and stuff. Yeah, it makes it all cheap, so it means like we can do Thorpe Park, Chessington, all the stuff in London quite cheaply. But yeah, so we went to Alton Towers on the 4th of May, which is a Saturday, so it was over the bank holiday weekend, so it was very busy. Luckily for us, again, we're entitled to the access passes, so queues aren't a big problem for us. Like in terms of like having to queue on things, it doesn't really like ruin our day if the queues are really long, because it's just something we don't really have to worry about. I will say like that the access pass there is quite overused, so like we had to queue a long time to get that. So like we got there at 10, I think, and by the time we had like got all our stuff sorted, it was about 11, so we had to wait a while for that. But then ultimately, obviously, it works out sort of in our favour in the sense that you only have to queue like an hour all day, and then like it's relatively easy for the rest of the day for us. So yeah, the first ride we went on was Wicker Man. We wanted to, like last year I went on that for the first time. I thought it was really good. Maybe a little bit overrated by some people, but it's still a cool ride. Like it's pretty like it fits into the area pretty perfectly in the sense that like it looks really cool. Like it's built on sort of like a hillside. The layout's really cool. They did it like when they first released like renderings for the layout, or people did like No Limits recreations. It didn't look that great in my opinion, but obviously then when you see it in real life, like it's actually quite fast. It's like a little bit forceful. Obviously the theming is really cool, like that big Wicker Man structure, Big Bob I think they call it. Yeah, so the Wicker Man was really good. Obviously it was a morning ride, so it's probably running a bit slower. We got in the middle of the train, so we didn't get to choose our seats or anything. But yeah, it was alright. It was a good ride. It was good to get back on it. And then after Wicker Man, we made our way around to Catania Canyon. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, we went on a runaway train and the rapids. The rapids have been really watered down because of like the accident at Drayton Manor. So the rapids at Alton Towers aren't that great. They're almost like a lazy river. There's not that much going on, and all the boats have like modifications and stuff. Yeah, and they weren't filling up the boats, so me and Hannah just had a boat to ourselves, which I prefer personally. I prefer having my own boat, but yeah, so that was alright. The rapids was good, Congo River Rapids. And then we went on the Runaway Mine Train. I haven't been on that in ages, haven't been on that in years. So yeah, I've been to Alton Towers 3 times. So this year, last year, and then like 2008 or 10, I think I went. 2008, 9 or 10, so sometime back then. But so yeah, so we went on the Runaway Mine Train. That was alright. It was obviously better than like the Flying Fish and the one at Chessington. Like a much bigger layout, and it's quite interesting. It goes like all around like the rapids and stuff, so that was fun. And also it's crazy because like all the supports and stuff, like if you lifted your hands up at the wrong time, like you would definitely hit them. It's just crazy how it's allowed to be so close to the track. But I guess Alton Towers just hope you have some common sense and aren't going to stick your hand out in front of like a metal pole whilst the train's going around. So yeah, after that, then we made our way around the Haunted Hollow, I think it's called, like that area of the park where Jewel is. Haunted Hollow, sorry, not Hollow. Yeah, so we went on Jewel. That was really cool. Again, I haven't been on that in a while. I don't think I didn't go on it last time, and I sort of forgot how good its potential is. Like there's a lot going on in there in terms of like the theming and stuff, and you just sort of miss it because you're just shooting the whole time. But there's some quite cool effects in there, and like there is like a potential there for like a really cool ride if they to do like some work on it and stuff. But yeah, it was still a good ride. I still really enjoyed it. And then after Jewel, we made our way around to Forbidden Valley, I believe. Yeah, that'd be like the next one in order. And obviously there we went on Nemesis. I don't really understand the hype around Nemesis. We got a back row ride because with the access pass you always get put on the back row. So I think the back row is supposed to be the most intense, but for me, I guess it is intense, but I just don't really see the hype around it. I mean, it's good, like obviously, and like, it looks really cool in its setting and stuff. Just in the way it rides, I'd probably prefer Nemesis and Inferno, to be honest. But it's still a good ride, really fun. And then we moved on to Air. Obviously, they took off the headsets now, but the batching of that one was really weird. They were letting a lot of twos go empty, and it's quite annoying. Like, I mean, obviously, again, we were in the access queue, so it wasn't the end of the world. We weren't having to queue as long as, say, the main queue, which I think was an hour at this point. But it was still like not just for myself, but annoying for the people in the queue that just seeing rows of two go empty when they could easily be filled. It just seemed like they weren't too bothered about filling up the trains. Yeah, so that was a little bit annoying. In terms of the ride itself, again, I'm not a massive fan of Air. It didn't really do much for me. I just don't think it has much going for it. It's quite tame. There are better flying coasters out there, but yeah, Air was Air. It was still good to get back on it. And then after the Forbidden Valley, we made our way over to the Dark Forest, I believe. Yeah, so the Dark Forest. I wanted to have a look at just the dungeons they have there. The dungeons at Alton Towers. I mean, I didn't want to go in because I didn't want to like pay £7 to go to a dungeons because I'm not a massive fan of the dungeons, and I just don't think really it should be at Alton Towers. But that's just a personal thing. I mean, I just don't think the actor experiences work at Merlin Parks. They just always seem to fail in terms of like almost like Darren Brown, Subterra, the I'm a Celebrity Maze, Soar Alive, all these actor things that they add to the parks after about 2 or 3 years. Once Merlin cuts the budget or stops supplying money to the ride, and it's up to the park to supply the budget, they just end up closing down because it's just not enough interest there. So again, and I think we're seeing this with the dungeons already. There's just not they're already offering like free entry and stuff because there's just not enough people going inside. So yeah, I just don't think it was a great decision for the park personally. But I could be proven wrong. It could become really popular. I don't know. But yeah, so moving off of that, sorry, like I said, we went into Dark Forest. We obviously went on Rita first. We didn't obviously, but we did go on Rita first. That was good. It's better than I remember it being. The launch is still quite forceful. It's like it packs a bit of a punch, and the airtime on it was okay. I did get some airtime, I thought, and I just like the sort of banking over the airtime hills. Like, it's just quite a cool experience. I just really like Intamin shaping. I just think it's really cool the way they do their shaping. It's the same with 13 as well. Like it's a family ride, but the trims are annoying on the first drop. But if they remove those trims, that would be a really cool ride to get some really good airtime. And I think the shaping of the track is just really good, and it just makes it like a really interesting ride. So yeah, two Intamins in Dark Forest, which I personally think they're alright. I don't have a problem with them. I mean, I guess Rita could be improved upon, and you could get like a multi-launch or something in its place. But I don't mind Rita. I think it's cool. And then after the Dark Forest, we took a little look around the gardens and stuff. Hannah wanted to see them. We just spent a bit of time looking around, which was nice. Yeah, I like the gardens. It's just we ate lunch there as well. It's just nice to sort of like escape everything and go there. So we went there for an hour or so, maybe like a little bit short, maybe like 45 minutes. And then after that, we were coming towards like the end to our day. So we were like, well, we hadn't done the X sector area of the park yet. So obviously we went over there. We did a Smiler first, I believe. Oh no, sorry, we did Oblivion first. That had no queue anyway, so that was just like getting straight on either way. That was good. I still maintain that Oblivion probably has the best drop on any of the dive coasters I've been on. Saying that, I've been on 3 dive coasters. I've been on Baron, I've been on Shikra, and I've been on Oblivion. And I would say Oblivion, in terms of the drop, is probably the best. It's just really cool. It's just like set up really well. And then obviously it's probably the weakest dive coaster just because the layout is just the drop. But other than it's still like a really cool coaster. I still really enjoy Oblivion, and it's probably my second, maybe third favourite of Alton Towers. And then lastly you have the Smiler, which last year it was the first time I went on it. The first time I went on Smiler, and I really enjoyed it. I went on it twice. I thought it was a really cool ride. Again, it was 2 back row rides last year because we were using the access pass. And again, unfortunately, this year it was back row ride again, which is a bit annoying. I would like to try and find try out another seat on that, because apparently it gets smoother towards the front. However, this year I didn't really enjoy it that much at all. I was already feeling quite sick because it'd already been like quite a coaster heavy day. And then obviously Smiler, turns out on Smiler with the 14 loops, it's just, all the 14 inversions, rather, it's just always going to be like one of those ones that, it just sort of pushes me over the edge and just makes me really sick. And it was just really rough and bumpy, and those 2 like inline twists, inversions, 0G rolls at the end, they just kill you. They're just so rattly and horrible. I didn't enjoy it this time. I just wanted to get off. Not a great ride on the Smiler. I would like to try it in a different row. It's not something that I will refuse to ride again. I just didn't enjoy it that much on the day. And then lastly, there was Wickerman one more time. Last year we only got on Wickerman once, and I really wanted to go on it twice. This year we were able to go on it twice. It was much better later in the day. Got on the back row. I asked the guy working on it, the attendant, if I could sit on the back, and he let us wait one train and got us on the back, which was nice of him. So and then Wickerman, obviously sped up. It speeds up during the day. It gets warmer, and it was, in my opinion, was a much better ride, provided more airtime, and it was just faster. And that was it really. That sums up my day at Alton Towers. It was a really good day. Obviously going on bank holiday is always risky normally, but for us it was really good. It worked out quite well. We got the park done. I think we got out at about 4:30, 4 o'clock in the end, because we had somewhere to be after. We had to go get like food for where we were staying and stuff. We spent like the majority of the day at Alton Towers. We got everything done we wanted to get done. I still haven't been on Hex actually. That's one ride I need to. I can't be bothered with it. For me, like, just a pre-show heavy ride it doesn't interest me. But I've never been on like a Vekoma Madhouse, so I do need to get inside there at some point. But that was it. That was my day at Alton Towers. Thank you very much for listening to me talk about it, and we'll turn back into just what I got built in this episode. See you in a bit. Okay, so let's dive straight in and have a look at what was built in this episode of building Diamond Fair. So we worked in the entrance area a little bit. So you can see I've got like a couple of buildings done. This is pretty much all we got done in the episode really. Just like making the area look a little bit nicer. I'm not very good with like differentiating my architectural styles, in the sense that I don't really know where they come from. I just sort of looked at images and I couldn't tell you what sort of architectural style they fit into. I guess it's sort of like an Art Deco theme really. I need to put like a tower on top of this building. We're going to get rid of the lights off the front, like the light cubes off the front of this building, because they don't look that great. And maybe just add like some more detail to that building just to make it look a little bit better, so it just sort of sticks out like a block at the moment. I'm quite happy with this building here. I think it looks cool. It's like a sort of ice cream parlour sort of thing. And then this here is like the deli sort of thing I was talking about. Where you can just get like sandwiches and stuff. Again, like I need to add like signage to all these things, like logos and signage, just to sort of show what they are. Because at the moment they're just buildings with nothing really attracting you inside them. And then obviously you can see like all the benches and stuff I just placed out in front of them so you can sit down and eat. And then around here obviously there's just like a gift shop really. And then inside, it's a bit of a blocky building, but it's something I will work on, and maybe I try and improve a little bit and like add the signage to it and stuff. And then obviously around here we just did some like general infrastructure for the area, so we had some fences so you don't go jumping down the hole where the roller coaster goes. And then just like some fences all around here. I wanted to mix up the fences a little bit, like real theme parks like this. They always use like lots of different types of fences, so that's what I've done here. I've just used some different styles to make it look quite realistic. And then this is going to be like a backstage area, obviously, that hasn't really been started on. This whole area here will be like a backstage area and like a place to evacuate people, like a lift and things like that, if that was required. And you can also see we did some changes to the roller coaster layout. I decided that I want this part to have rides that are like really good. I want like all the rides to be compact and stuff. I want it to be a comfort, and I want them to have like unique rides. So obviously, X-Car roller coaster is quite unique, but I want them to have like really cool layouts and like quite lengthy. The only annoying thing with this one is obviously you can't use block brakes, so the capacity on it is going to be awful. There's going to be really long queues for it. So I just sort of have to imagine that there can be like more than one train running. What I might do though is like you can like put trains on the floor and like just go like, so I might have like one train sitting on like a transfer track, and then one train that like it's like broken up on the floor, like being maintained and stuff. If that makes sense, like in one of the backstage areas. I just think that'd be like quite a cool detail to have. so I might go see like how I can go about doing that maybe. But yeah, so that's sort of it for this episode. I've got some more supports done, and like I built this trench as well. And also wanted to just like sort of explain that here I plan to build like a building with the roller coaster sort of crashing through it, and like you being able to walk around it. I walk around like the interior of the building, the inside of it, which should be quite cool. It would be like quite a cool like element to have. Yeah, so that's really it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll be back as soon as I can with another episode. Thank you very much.